Hello, I'm Vicki Landon, and welcome to another episode of Artist Spotlight. I am here today in Orange County's Multicultural Center with Seth, an artist, an advocate, an activist, a community servant for the Pine Hills community, and the founder of Las Semillas nonprofit. Welcome, Seth. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about Las Semillas and the work that you do. And what does Las Semillas mean?
It was born out of this project here. This project started in 2018, and I didn't know that this project was kind of going to change the trajectory of my life. But yeah, started in 2018, and through the impact of just the whole process and the wave of support that we got after this project, we started the organization Las Semillas in 2020. Las Semillas means the seeds. This project here was done through a group of artists from Pine Hills, some from around Pine Hills, but yeah, over 31 artists actually, and largely Black, women of color, etc. And it was really an amazing process building this project, and just the fact that we got to have something that reflected artists from the community, the culture. So that was partially why it was called Las Semillas. There's a story behind the seeds. One of my professors told me a story about, just how generation after generation, different indigenous communities, they put forth their work for the next 7 generations. And, that story spoke to me. And I thought, that it kind of reflects my passion for Pine Hills. And so literally and figuratively, I think we're the seeds, what Pine Hills, Orlando, etc. is going to be like in the future. And I love the fact that we had so many youth be a part of this project and trying to show that, youth had something to say. So, yeah, we're the seeds.
I love that. So tell me about the origins of this project. So what we see here in this exhibit are photographs of mural artwork that was on a community art wall, right?
Yeah.
And we know that the community art wall was deemed like structurally unsound and has to come down and be rebuilt. So we were able to memorialize these artworks and take these pictures. But where did the idea come from to even put the first piece of paint on the wall?
Oh yeah, so I'm born and raised here in Pine Hills, and I've passed this wall hundreds, thousands of times to go to school, to go to work, to go to, after school programs, etc. And for a long time, it was dilapidated, the paint was falling off the walls and etc. And it kind of dawned on me one day, it's like, is anybody gonna do anything about the wall here? I've been painting murals for maybe 4 or 5 years prior to starting this project, and I knew how much the walls and the art meant to other communities that I was in painting, and I was like, why can't I do that here in my own community? I contacted the property owner, contacted the county commissioner, zoning director, everybody to see what all I needed. And after I got clearance to be able to do the project, I got a student loan, figure out how much money I might need.
What was the first piece that got painted on the wall? And was it by you or by someone else?
So there were 2 murals that were painted at the same time. There's actually not a photo here of the first mural. It was the first young lady that was painted on the wall, and everyone really just loved that one. And it was the bear back there. So those 2 came up at the same time.
You did the bear, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I wanted to get the ball rolling. I know the other artists all had different schedules and stuff, so it was like tricky to figure out how we can all get it done in a mannerly time. I was in school, I live in Pine Hills. I went to UCF, so I had to catch the bus over there. So trying to find time to paint was really hard. I had to come in the mornings, 6, 7 a.m., put 2 hours in or so, and
So there's a mixture of art by professional artists and muralists and then community members, right? You told a story of a group of kids saw what you were doing and asked a question, and then they ended up having art on the wall. Will you tell us that story too?
Yeah. So at different times in the project, some artists actually had to be like, oh, I actually can't do this anymore. Especially because we didn't have all the funding. Some artists had to pay for their own supplies. So, some artists were like, I actually can't do this anymore. And we're like, oh man, now we got a whole spot and we got to change up the ideation of what we're gonna do. And it's like, yeah, I'll call another artist. But then, I saw these kids and they're like petitioning me. They're like, how'd you learn how to paint? Who taught you how to paint like that? If you guys have an idea, I can help you make a sketch. I can show you the process of, ideation of getting something on paper, then getting it to the wall, and even all the skills and tips that you need to know to be like a beginning muralist. And yeah, a lot of those kids were like, yeah, they're
Didn't
down.
they paint emojis? Isn't that what they wanted to put on there?
So it was kind of creative. They wanted like emojis spilling out of a cereal box. Like they were just like cereal pieces. And it was pretty cool. It took them a little while to finish it, but they're all really proud of it. So I was proud that I was able to help them curate that project and that they can see that every day going to school and coming home and know that they're a part of, this representation of the community, that they painted something for everyone else.
So you had like a big diversity of artists that came, right? Because you have professional artists, you have children, you had one of the seniors in the community, right?
Yeah. Miss Claudine Nelson. She's
how old is Miss Claudine Nelson?
Ooh, I don't want to mess up her
She
age.
is an elder of the community.
She's elder of the community. She might be 74, 75 now, I'm not sure, but she's still painting every single day, trying to sell her art. She loves art, and yeah, I actually didn't know Miss Claudine Nelson before this project, but she pulled over, talking to me about her art and the fact that she'd love to paint a mural one day, and she didn't believe she could do it. And we're like, of course you can. Me and my friend, Madison St. Pierre, he's kind of like a world-renowned artist now, and being from Pine Hills, I'm glad that, both of them could be a part of this project.
Yeah, I'm hearing this continuous thread from you that when people go, I don't know if I can do that, you go, yeah, you can, or I don't know how to do that, I'll show you. There's another story of sort of encouragement that you told about your sister's piece on this mural. Will you share that with us too?
Yeah, oh man. So we were almost finished with the entire project, and my sister, she loves to draw and to color, to paint. But she's never done like a mural or anything like that. But I'm like, you know what, you can do it. We've had other kids come and you can do it. And do like the ideation process, helping her sketch. She's like, you know what, everyone loves the girl on the other side of the wall. But I wanted a girl that looked like me, a little darker toned. And I'm like, man, that's a beautiful idea, but I don't know if you should do that. She's 14 years old. The artist that did the bigger mural that everyone loved, he is an artist that's been in the game for 17 plus years. He's been spray painting since he was like 10. He's from the community as well, beloved. So it's like, I was like, you don't really want to compete with this guy. I'm not sure that's, maybe there's something else that you can do that'd be really great. And she was like, no. And she was like, no.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. She's like, I think this representation matters. And yeah, she did it. Everyone really loved it. This was her first mural versus a very, tenured artist. And a lot of people said they liked hers better. And yeah, there was so many posts of little girls taking pictures behind this, in front of this picture. And it was like, yeah, it reminded me that the representation really did matter.
It does. So, Seven, the work that you're doing to help champion art in this community, the work that you and Las Semillas are doing to help champion the youth and the art of this community, thank you so much for sharing yourself, your efforts, and your civic spirit with everybody. I really appreciate you being here today.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of Artist Spotlight. We'll catch you next time.